Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this 100% truth according to the spirits of be Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that their portion is word through the four corners of the earth of sincerity. And peace and blessings to you hopeful believers out there which are also part of the elect. I say shalom. And once again, I want to say call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Give me the Harachakwadash, the Holy Spirit, to do the lesson on today. Lord, and the feet, you let me sheets of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, man. Never got a video through the parent spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just want to go into through the spirit, man, how, as a matter of fact, I had a title lined up. I want to see how it was worded exactly, because I kind of like how it was worded. Yeah, it's called The Biggest Threat to Esau's Queendom is the word coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's this word. You know, the biggest threat towards Esau's queendom, his rulership, you know, as Apostle Kabar said, you know, when there's universal deceit going on, the truth is a menace. You know, and that's the biggest threat to Esau's rulership. The sons of God coming back to the obedience of the scriptures. This truth being brought out. It's like, and the reason I want to say this because, you know, I was watching What's Next on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? It's a good watch. You should go watch it. I was watching What's Next on Netflix, and it was going into the time when the jump shot came out, right? There's going to time when the jump shot came out, and they was talking about all these conspiracies against Bill Gates, which we know what conspiracy means pretty much, you know what I'm saying? A group of people to come together with an evil plot, which the only ones that can conspire against anybody have conspiracy. The real conspiracy theories is the damn the top ranking banking families, you know what I'm saying? The wicked rulers of the earth. But nevertheless, they was saying that there's all these conspiracy theories that was come up against Hell Gates during the time of the Crown Vic, during the time of the jump shot, you know. And it was one in particular that they brought out talking about the jump shot being linked to C-hips, right? The jump shot being linked to MOTB. And the reason I wanted to bring that out because they said that it originated from, you know, Hell Gates making a quote from, you know, some years back talking about digital IDs, but then if you go more relevant, it stems it back to Charlemagne the God, you know what I'm saying, as he calls himself. Charlemagne, that sold out nigga. But the reason I wanted to put it because it's funny how Esau, cause of course, you know, I don't know, you know, the other camps, you know what I'm saying, last my check, they don't even mention the C of being the MOTB or being even associated with the jump shot. They were saying go take the jump shots, a lot of them. But nevertheless, I know GMS particularly, we was pushing forth how the jump shot is a prelude to the C-hip. We never said the jump shot was the C-hip. We never said the jump shot is the mark of the beast if you go take it. Nah, because that's what they said. They called it the jump shot C-hip when you watch it. You know, they called it the jump shot C-hip, you know, or the serpent venom C-hip. That's pretty much what they called it, which we're using code words. So, you know, but we know that really stemmed from the doctrine of GMS. That really stemmed from the prophets coming out and, you know what I'm saying, pulling the veil back on certain things that this devil does, you know what I'm saying, as Hellgates, because even if Hellgates didn't mention digital IDs, if he didn't mention that, you know what I'm saying, we can't shy away from him. He's still pushing forth that agenda, you know what I'm saying, he's still pushing forth that agenda, you know, he's still pushing forth the left hand of the Lord, whether or not, you know, he's a puppet, you know what I'm saying, he's still pushing forth the left hand of the Lord. But the reason I wanted to go into this, how this truth is the biggest threat towards Esau's rulership, because he didn't want to stem it back to the prophets. He didn't want to say, yeah, it originally came from the prophets, because they came out with this thing talking about a C-hip being implemented into everybody, and people just try to tie that to the jump shot. He never said that. He just said, oh, and back to when Hell Gates made this quote, and then you come further up, more relevant, it goes to when Charlemagne was talking about, oh, everybody gets jazzed, and boom, micro C-hips, you know, when you watch the video. And I was like, Esau's funny. You know what I'm saying? Esau's funny. He didn't want to stem it back to the prophet because he understands that the main thing that he's scared of is Jake waking up. That's what he's scared of. He's scared of Jake coming back to the obedience of the scriptures, man. So I'm gonna pull a couple of scriptures and I'm going to read this instance in the scriptures. Going to one of the heathen nations. You know what I'm saying? But I want to start off with this is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai," right? Slide, my bad. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to pulling down strongholds." And that's the key. You know what I'm saying? The main way Esau's rulership is going to be passed away is through us preaching his word. As a matter of fact, you've been seeing it play out now. As the prophets that came out on the scene, they've been proclaiming the acceptable year of the Lord, proclaiming the gospel. All these things started happening upon earth. The apostles would tell you everything, man. You know what I'm saying? All these things been coming upon the planet earth. So that's the thing that's really shaking Esau's kingdom. It's not you niggas rising up. It's not you saying that you're Egyptology. It's not your African movement, whatever. It's not we come from aliens. You subscribing to Billy Carson. No, it's none of that. It's coming back to the obedience of the scriptures, right? And not being compromised. Cause that's another thing too, that you have some sects out here. You have some Israelite camps out here. They preach that you're Israelite, but they go off. They don't proclaim to you the whole truth. Why? Because they've been compromised by the serpent, being Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Esau know what them niggas teaching because they took the government charter, the 50 you know what. They took that. They took the government charters, and therefore it causes them to pervert the word and not push forth the 100% truth. That's what it does. So they've been compromised, but it's a specific camp that Esau hasn't compromised, being the camp of GMS. And any ones that's in affiliate with the doctrine, he hasn't compromised them. That's why he's so scared of them, because he's like, y'all niggas ain't been compromised. I don't know. And what y'all teaching, it ain't budged. You ain't changed the doctrine up. You ain't, no. It's constantly Esau's the so-called white man. Lord's coming to bring judgment upon this place. Esau gonna be the last nigga ruling and telling you the prophecies and the good news. You know what I'm saying? Which is bad news unto the heathen, but it's good news unto Jake, specifically the elect. You know what I'm saying? Esau's afraid of that. That's what's shaking his kingdom up. That's what's making this nigga sit back in the damn dark room with his coffee, and little boys running around because, he's a sodomite and he's fucking spitting his coffee out on the damn computer screen. It's the prophets, coming out and pushing for this 100% truth. As Paul is going into writer, 2 Corinthians 10, verse 4 again. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal." Exactly, not carnal. We ain't taking up arms, none of that, right? Our power is through Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, but mighty through the power Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to pulling down the stronghold, that's what's happening, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, and bring it into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Right? Casting down. I wonder what that word imagination means. As a matter of fact, let me get that in the blue letter Bible. I wonder what that word imagination means. Where's it at? New Testament, 2 Corinthians. There we go. 10. Let's get that word imaginations. It says imaginations, casting down imaginations. It says the word for it is logismos, and it says a reckoning, a computation, and the substance says the reasoning such as is hostile to the Christian's faith, right? So that's mean that anything adverse, in a sense, which we know in 2 Thessalonians 2 to tell you this man's workings is after the coming of Satan, which means what? And when it comes to the workings, where the Greek word there is energio. So his energy, because that word sounds like energy, energio. His energy, the type of energy he operates in, as the new, and younger brothers this new word going out. The type of aura of vibe Esau has is adverse towards the Lord, because it says Satan. Satan means to be adverse, shaitan, which is the word. It means adverse. So he's adverse towards the Lord. His imagination, he's hostile towards the teachings of Yahushua, right? Which the Yahushua say, you know what I'm saying? He has the God is ruler. There's nothing in me. Loosely paraphrasing it, right? But see, the Esau's hostile, so that's why he didn't want to stem it back, because he knew stemming it back just go wake up more Jake, man. He ain't trying to deal with that, man. As a matter of fact, I want to get to this is Psalms chapter 2. As a matter of fact, I want to get Psalms 83 first. This is Psalms 83, because you got to remember, all these nations on the same page. You know what I'm saying? As brothers going to right now, we just seeing a race towards the new industrial revolution. You know what I'm saying? Getting this C-hip pushed up. Who's going to be the man pushing it out? You know, things like that. But, you know, I want to, you know, all these nations on the same page when it comes to Jake, man. They all on the same page. They eventually they don't want us walking around. But this Psalms 83 verse, I'm starting when it says, keep not thy silence, O Lord, hold thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh Bashem Abashai, which we see the Lord moving right now. He's not being still no more. He's finna act upon these heathens because they have a plot, a plan, an imagination against us, against the Lord. And it's going to say that in that Psalms too, but I want to get to it. It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that have hated thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, right? And what's this crafty counsel? Those, you know, the World Economic, you know what, these meetings where there's no cameras, it's just in a dark room. What are they talking about? Jake's not invited, so what are they talking about? They're making a crafty counsel. They all have a plan, and you know, they all have a plan in mind. Let's keep going. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel, Yahshua, he prince of the power, may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with the consent, they are confederate against thee. And if you go down, it says the tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab and Hagarenes, and it just goes on to mention those heathen nations that are in agreement to what was said right there. They're at the meetings. That's what they're talking about. We got to make sure they don't come back up. We got to keep them down, keep them in perpetual sin. You know, why you think, you know, when you look at the leaders of Jake, they're through. The leaders of Jake are through. They're nothing but puppets of Esau pushing forth wickedness. Now, this is Psalms 2 in the NLT. And that's the goal for these Edomites. That's why they didn't want to direct it. You know, they're scared of this stuff. They're scared of this truth. This scares them, man. It doesn't have a great sound in their ear. You know, somebody playing some bad music. That's how it sounds to these niggas too, man. Cause y'all just like y'all father the devil. Y'all fucking heathens, man. Y'all acting like heathens. You're identified as a heathen. You might got Israelite blood going through your veins, but you're a fucking heathen right now. Cause that's how you conduct yourself. But these niggas, but you know, going to the higher ups, chiefly these Edomites and the ones that are in rulership, which is Esau, Edom, Job 9:24, and the nations that are affiliated with him, that doesn't have a good sound in his ear to hear that Jake is Jake gonna come and really us coming back to the beams of the scripture, seeing us raised back up. That's not a good ring in his ear. It doesn't sound good. I just treat like a dinosaur, man. But nevertheless, I want to get Psalms 2. It says, why are other nations so angry? And why do they waste their time? This is in the NLT, by the way. It says, why do they waste their time with futile plans? The kings of the earth prepare for battle, like it said in Psalms 83. You know what I'm saying? The kings of the earth prepare for battle, and the rulers plot together against the Lord and against his anointed one. Saying, in the top of the list, the one that's, the head, you know what I'm saying? The head of the nations, as it calls Amalek, Raj, the head, the chief, you know what I'm saying, the head, the top, the ones in the leadership, the ones in leadership role right now, but, the other nations are joined to them with the same plot. Let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from slavery to the power. They know that us commit to the obedience of our scriptures is not a good thing for them. They know that. Jake, the everyday 2/3 nigga don't know. It's a small number, but Esau got his eyes. Even the everyday Joe Biden, everyday Trumper running around. They don't know. But the high ups, they know. That's why they systematically created a system. You know what I'm saying? That's why they systematically set up niggas. They set up degenerates. You know what I'm saying? To keep Jake at such a low vibration. Jake is in such a decrepit, you know what I'm saying? Such an adverse vibration in the vibration of Satan so much, because they understand that if Jake, once they get out of that vibration and they're in the vibration of Yahweh Shai not being adverse, that's trouble for us. They're getting they're getting nostalgia when they see Jake coming back to the obedience of the scripture. Like, oh shit, man. I remember when they was with their power. It wasn't looking too good for them. Slaves, they was getting fucked up, man. You know, by David. Right? But I'm reading on, it says, but one who rules in the heaven laughs, right? The Lord's laughing, and we laughing now. As you know, is famous quote from Elder Apostle Tahar. He always says, whatever we gotta do, Esau, do it quick. That's us mocking that nigga, laughing at him. Cause nigga, hurry the fuck up. Now we understand, prophecy's playing out, he's moving on the Lord's side. But we just sending the nigga, telling the nigga straight up, hey, hurry the fuck up, man. Do what you gotta do it, bro, cause it's not gonna work. Right, but it says, but the one who rules in heaven laughs, the Lord scoffs at them. And that's what the Lord does, man. He scoffs at them through his prophets. Right? So I want to get this instance in the scriptures, right? Where it actually goes into the aspect of what happens when Jake is joined unto his power. That's the main reason why Esau didn't want to backtrack it to the root. We know where the teaching of the sea originates from. It originates from the apostles, and if you want to go even further back, it originates from the One West school. It originates from the teachings of Elijah the prophet when he came back to push forth that doctrine of Yahweh Shai. That C-hip, the being the MOTB, that originates from that. That originates from him. And it's pushed and it's carried out through the apostles now. The only ones that are pushing for the C-hip being the MOTB. The only camp that hasn't been compromised or took the damn gift from this nigga. So this is Judas chapter 5. Let me just read up and get a little context. It says, it's a lot. So it says, then was I declared to Holofernes, right, the chief captain of the army of Ashur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war, and had shut up the passages of the hill country, and had forfeited all the tops of the high hills, and laid impediments in the champagne countries. And I'm kind of skimmed through it, you know what I'm saying? But it's pretty much, you're going to see, you had, heathens conspiring, and they're like, what's with these, what's with Israel? They ain't doing what these, they ain't coming down, kneeling to me, in a sense. Just kind of give a rundown. It says, wherewith we was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the sea coast. And he said unto me, tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and where is their power and strength, and what king is over them, or a captain of their army? You know what I'm saying? He's trying to inquire about, why they not acting like the other nations, in a sense, and why they have determined not to come and meet me more than all the inhabitants of the west. So they're like, all the inhabitants came, why you didn't came? Then said a Chior, I'm so used to saying that he would a Chior, the captain of the sons of Ammon, let my Lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people, going to the Israelites. He's going to tell them about the Israelites, who dwelleth near and in the inhabited hill countries, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. Right? The people are the descendant of the Chaldeans, and they sojourned henceforth in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea. For they left the way of thy ancestors, and worshipped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew, as they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia, and sojourned there many days. Then there commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned, and go into the land of Canaan, right, or Canaan, where they dwelt, and were increased with gold and silver, and with very much cattle. So it's going to Egypt, you know what I'm saying, Mesopotamia, that region, you know what I'm saying. was Egypt and all that. So that they're going to aspect like when we left Egypt, pretty much, right? And what happened? It says the God commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned and go to the land of Canaan, where they dwelt and were increased with gold and silver and with very much cattle. But when famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there while they were nourished and became there a great multitude. Salakia, my bad, got it wrong. If I'm not mistaken, this is going into before Egypt, around the time of, because it's Chaldean, so it's talking about Babylon. So this is the time of Abraham. Well, it kind of pulls glimpses of history, but it talks about the time of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? Abraham. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's at the point to where it's going into the time where we was in Egypt. So Salakia on my part. That's just talking about during the time of kind of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? Kind of range really. Now it's at the part to where it's talking about Egypt, because it said the Chaldeans. So that was Babylon, ancient Babylon, because that's where what it's called Abraham was. He was in ancient Babylon, and his father, can't remember his name, but he was following those gods, and the Lord told him to depart from that. But it says, but when famine covered, right? So like I read that part, verse 11. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly with them and brought them low with laboring and brick and made them slaves. So it's funny because this right here, because this is what happens now. Like the heathens, they know history. They know the history of Jake. They know where Jake come from, man. They know what the so-called Native American Latinians, so-called African American, they know that we the sons of God. They know this. They know this. Here it is. You got a king going into the history of the sons of God. Like he's telling the dude, what a servant of the king. He's telling on the resume, like, hey, these people got a resume. Says then they cried unto their power, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues. So the Egyptians cast them out of their sight, and God dried the Red Sea before them, which you read that in Exodus. You know what I'm saying? Them fleeing from Egypt, you know what I'm saying? Going through the Red Sea, the Lord fucking up Pharaoh. That good, beautiful stuff, man. And brought them to Mount Sinai and Candace Barn, and cast forth all the dwelt in the wilderness. So they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and they destroyed by their strength all of them of Esbon, and passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. Going into when the Lord was with us, time of Moses, during the wilderness, passing over. Then Joshua, when Joshua went to go conquer those Tites, I think it was nine Tite nations, you know what I'm saying, pretty much. And they cast forth before them, is going to it, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Schemonite, and all the Jerusites that dwelt in that country many days. And whilst they sinned not before their power, they prospered, because the power that hateth iniquity was with them. So he made a note, said when they sinned not before their God, they was unstoppable. Could nobody touch them. They was, you just get ready to serve, right? But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. So he told them, like, hey, don't fuck with them when they're in good, when they're in good, when they have a good relationship, when they ain't sinning against their power. Don't fuck with them. Just be ready to be slaves as they come to your land, or give them whatever they ask. But when they are sinning against their power, they're up for grabs, which it makes sense, because this is Lord. What do you do? Lord likened us into a woman. If a woman has a man with her, man, you might as well kiss goodbye trying to attack her. You know what I'm saying? But if she don't have a man with her, it's easy grabs. It's easy. That's how we was. We was easy grabs for the nations. They went crazy because our man wasn't there no more. He sent us to get in that bill of divorce, like, get out my face, And the heathens know this. So when they see us standing back up, as a matter of fact, before I want to end it off with this. This is Revelation 11, right? Where is it at? Right, it's Revelation 11 and 11. It says, And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life, which is 350 years, from 1619 to late 1960s and early 1970s, right? So that's when the Apophis came back from the Lord, breathed, came back to the obedience of the scriptures, right? After 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Bahasham entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. What does it mean? That means that we want them dead bones no more. Can you read up? Well, it says, in dead bodies shall lie in the city that spiritually called Sodom and Gomorrah. Which you see that still to this day, but those dead bodies were Jake. That's what it's talking about. Jake being, what it say, he that wandered out of the congregation of the Lord is in the congregation of the dead. So you consider the dead body. You're the walking dead if you don't have this understanding, because you didn't have that life breathed into you right now, which is the Holy Spirit. But it says, and they stood upon their feet. So we came back to the obedience of the scripture. We woke up, we stood up, started chanting our power, right? And great fear fell upon them which saw them. And who was there that saw them? You know what I'm saying? What is it called? The heathen nations. When you read up, it says, it goes into them heathen nations. They suffer not our bodies be put in graves. They capitalize off of our ignorance and off of our disobedience to our power, us being in the Lord. So they capitalize off of it. Even says that in the Maccabees, who have not gotten of her spoils. It's talking about the heathen nations. They've capitalized off Jake being in a degenerate mindset. But when Jake started waking up, that's when they started shaking in their boots, because they're like, it's our time's up. And that's what we just read in Judith. He gave that resume like, hey, when they not sin against their power, don't even mess with them, man. That's not the good choice. And that's what Esau see. That's why he didn't want that's why he didn't want to direct that, back that see hip going really coming from the prophets. Now, of course, GMS, we ain't said that the see hip was the jab, the jump shot. We didn't say that, but we said that it's a similitude, it's similar. You know what I'm saying? The concept is very similar. Take the jump shot, or you ain't gonna be able to engage in work. It's the same. It was a test run, pretty much. That's all it was. It was a test run for you niggas to see who was the rats that's gonna get got. And it's the one. It was, of course, a majority of you niggas got. A lot of you took the jump shot. A lot of you fell for it. That's all we said. You know what I'm saying? But of course you had. But you want to tie to, oh, he said it came from Charlemagne, and it goes back to when Hellgate said this. Now it goes back to the prophets. But you don't want Jake to be, oh shit, the Israelites, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? That's what they say in the scriptures, because that's going to start waking them up. But little do Esau know that, as Yahushua said, my sheep hear my voice. So you can't do nothing. You can do all you can. You could try to hide it. You can't. Hey, Matthew 24, man, if it was possible, he'll deceive his very elect. So it's not possible. I said if it was. It's not. So Lord, this is edifying to the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, and feed you lamb and sheep of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, man. We're going to end up saying, call Allah, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakadash. When they get up honor to the apostles, with a great meal, something to Yahweh, say shalom, man.